Top HFY stories: the arrival of humans. In the distant future, the galaxy buzzed with life. Countless species had risen and fallen, and a tenuous peace prevailed among the dominant races. The Galactic Federation had long been a coalition of powerful beings, each with their own unique strengths and technologies. But a whisper of something new, something unexpected, began to spread through the stars. Humans were coming. The Council of Species, comprised of the most powerful leaders from the known races, convened to discuss the implications of humanity's arrival. With no prior contact, many viewed the humans as a potential threat. The Zarkon, a formidable race known for their ruthless expansion, licked their lips at the thought of conquering a new, uncharted species. The Nixians, famed for their telepathic abilities, expressed curiosity about the human mind. Others, like the Arcturians, felt a mix of apprehension and intrigue. As the humans approached the center of the galaxy, their ships, once thought primitive by interstellar standards, revealed a surprising sophistication. Equipped with new warp drives and powerful shielding, they defied expectations. Their ships were adorned with symbols of Earth, an eagle soaring through the stars, the blue and green of their home planet, a testament to their resilience and determination. The first human envoy, led by Captain Sarah Mitchell, landed on the diplomatic planet of Ryloth, a neutral ground bustling with trade and negotiation. She stepped out of the ship, flanked by her crew, their expressions a mix of awe and determination. They were met by representatives from various species, their forms a kaleidoscope of colors and shapes. "Welcome, humans," boomed a voice. It was Thrax, the towering leader of the Zarkon, his gaze piercing and calculating. "You stand at the threshold of our domain. What do you seek?" Sarah took a deep breath. "We seek peace and cooperation. We come from a planet that has faced its share of challenges, and we believe that together, we can forge a brighter future." Laughter erupted from the Zarkon representatives. "Peace? You humans are known for your wars and conflicts." But Sarah stood firm. "Our history is indeed one of struggle, but it has also shaped us. We have learned the value of unity and collaboration. We understand the consequences of division." The council debated fiercely, the air crackling with tension. While some species voiced concerns about humanity's violent past, others recognized the potential in this new alliance. The Nixians, intrigued by human ingenuity, proposed a technology exchange, while the Arcturians suggested sharing cultural knowledge. As discussions unfolded, the humans demonstrated their advanced technologies. They showcased their medical breakthroughs, sustainable energy sources, and innovative space travel methods. Their ability to adapt and evolve astonished many. Slowly, the atmosphere shifted, skepticism gave way to intrigue. Then came the crisis. An unforeseen threat emerged when a rogue faction of the Zarkon launched an attack on a human outpost. Panic spread through the Federation as the humans faced the possibility of war before they had even begun to establish themselves. But instead of retreating, Captain Sarah rallied her crew and allies. "We will not back down," she declared, her voice resonating with resolve. "We fight for our right to exist and for the principles of unity and peace. We stand together." In a remarkable display of courage, the humans led a coalition of species to repel the attack. With their quick thinking and innovative strategies, they turned the tide of battle. They used their advanced technology and combined forces to outmaneuver the Zarkon, showcasing their tactical prowess and determination. When the dust settled, the humans emerged not just as survivors but as heroes. They had demonstrated the strength of collaboration and the power of unity in the face of adversity. The council reconvened, and the tone had shifted completely. "Perhaps we underestimated you," Thrax admitted grudgingly, a newfound respect in his voice. "You have proven that you can hold your ground against overwhelming odds." With that, the humans solidified their place in the galaxy. The council voted unanimously to welcome humanity as a member of the Galactic Federation. The arrival of humans marked the dawn of a new era, one where unity prevailed over division, and collaboration became the guiding principle for all species. As they looked to the stars, Captain Sarah and her crew realized that they were not just explorers, they were pioneers of a new future, a future where humanity's spirit of resilience, innovation, and courage would inspire countless others across the galaxy. The humans had arrived, and they were here to stay. Top HFY stories. The arrival of humans continued. Months passed since humanity's triumphant entry into the Galactic Federation, and humans quickly became a unique force among the stars. Their adaptability, determination, and innovative spirit has earned them respect, but they still had much to prove. The Federation had seen peace for centuries, but the sudden appearance of a new species with an untested future was an unsettling factor for some. Among the Federation's worlds, the most skeptical were the Draxians, a race of biomechanical beings who prized logic and order above all else. They saw humanity's impulsiveness and emotional tendencies as weaknesses that could disrupt the delicate balance of galactic politics. Led by their cold, calculating leader, High Commander Valter, the Draxians had made it clear that they were not yet convinced of humanity's place in the Federation. Humans, Valter stated at a joint summit, his metallic form glinting under the lights of the council chamber, are unpredictable. Their history proves they are a species of chaos, bound to repeat the same mistakes. The Federation should not gamble on them. Despite the criticism, humans pressed forward. Sarah Mitchell, now a revered leader and ambassador for the human race, attended the summit with a mix of pride and determination. Her mission was clear, to demonstrate that humanity had the strength not only to coexist but to lead when necessary. The galaxy was once again thrown into turmoil when a mysterious threat arose from the uncharted regions of space. An unknown race, the Xur, had begun to assault Federation colonies, their fleet overwhelming and unrelenting. No one knew who they were or where they had come from, but their advanced weaponry and strategies sent shockwaves through the Federation. The once peaceful galaxy was now on the brink of war. As panic spread, the Federation turned to its strongest members for solutions. The Zarkon prepared their war fleets, and the Nixians offered their psychic abilities to locate the invaders. But despite their resources, none could find a way to confront the Xur head-on. It was clear that the Federation was not prepared for this unknown force. Humanity, however, did not wait for the problem to escalate further. Captain Sarah Mitchell and her crew, along with a team of human engineers, offered a daring proposal, a hybrid strike force. The humans' focus on adaptability and tactical ingenuity was their key advantage. They would use a mix of traditional Federation technology combined with their own innovations to outsmart the Xur. Many were doubtful. The Xur's attacks had been precise, devastating, and efficient. Could human unpredictability truly hold the answer? But Sarah's resolve remained unshaken. "We may not have the raw power of the Zarkon," she said in a stirring speech, "or the psychic abilities of the Nixians, but we have something just as powerful, our ability to think outside the box, to adapt and evolve when faced with impossible odds." The Federation reluctantly agreed, and a combined force of humans and allied species, under Sarah's leadership, set out to track down the Xur. It was a mission unlike any other, fraught with uncertainty and peril. When they encountered the Xur's massive fleet, the Federation forces were stunned. The Xur ships were unlike anything seen before, dark, sleek, and seemingly impenetrable. Their weapons tore through shields and armor effortlessly. A traditional assault would be suicidal, yet, the humans did not panic. Using their mastery of unconventional tactics, Sarah and her crew devised a plan to infiltrate the Xur flagship. They discovered that the Xur relied on a central neural network to control their fleet, a vulnerability that no one had noticed before. Humans, with their ingenuity, were able to craft a disruptive signal, throwing the Xur's technology into chaos. When the final battle came, it was not won by sheer firepower, but by a carefully calculated strike that exploited the Xur's weaknesses. The Federation, with the humans at the forefront, managed to cripple the invaders' fleet. The Xur, thrown into disarray, retreated, leaving the Federation's colonies safe, for now. The victory sent ripples through the galaxy. The Draxians, who had previously doubted the humans' worth, were forced to acknowledge their role in the Federation's success. High Commander Valter, begrudgingly, addressed the Council once more. "Perhaps, we were wrong. Humans possess a strength that is not measured in raw power alone. Their ability to adapt and innovate, to think beyond logic and strategy, has saved us all." Sarah Mitchell, now standing taller than ever, nodded solemnly. "We fight not because we are the strongest, but because we believe in something greater than ourselves, a future where unity and creativity are our greatest weapons." The humans' arrival in the galaxy had proven to be more than just a new chapter. It was a turning point. They had shown that humanity's strength lay not in what they could destroy, but in what they could build. And as the Federation moved forward, they no longer saw humans as just newcomers, they saw them as essential partners in the pursuit of peace and progress. With the Xur threat neutralized and a renewed sense of unity across the galaxy, humanity stood at the threshold of its future, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, knowing that with ingenuity, courage, and the will to persevere, there was no force in the universe they could not overcome. The humans had arrived, and they were not just surviving, they were thriving. Top HFY stories. The arrival of humans, continued. The Federation, having survived the Xur invasion, began to heal from the wounds of war, but a new challenge emerged. A sudden shift in the galactic balance occurred when a powerful, enigmatic race known as the Lithari appeared. They hailed from the farthest reaches of space, beyond even the uncharted territories. Their ships were like nothing anyone had ever seen, sleek, organic, and seemingly alive. The Lithari communicated not through words but through an intricate web of energy pulses, a form of telecommunication that defied all known logic. The Federation was immediately thrown into a state of uncertainty. The Lithari were not an enemy, but their intentions were unclear. Their ships drifted silently into Federation space, and their fleet, vast and awe-inspiring, moved without warning toward the heart of Federation territory. The Council, still reeling from the recent Xur threat, struggled to respond. The Lithari made no attempt to communicate directly. Instead, they activated powerful energy fields that disrupted communications and navigational systems across entire sectors of space. Entire fleets lost contact with their command posts, and the flow of trade and diplomacy ground to a halt. The Federation, which had once been so united, began to splinter under the mysterious presence of the Lithari. In the midst of this chaos, the humans remained steadfast. Despite the Lithari's overwhelming power and the fear they instilled, humanity's spirit of perseverance and diplomacy held firm. Captain Sarah Mitchell was once again called upon, not to lead a military campaign, but to represent humanity in this strange, potentially catastrophic situation. "We cannot afford to be afraid of the unknown," Sarah said during a council meeting, her voice filled with unwavering conviction. "We've faced insurmountable odds before, and we can do it again, but this time, we must lead with understanding. The Lithari may not speak our language, but they are not our enemies, yet, we need to learn, not fight." Her words resonated with some, but not everyone was convinced. The Zarkon, still eager for conquest, were ready to turn their warships toward the Lithari, ready to crush whatever perceived threat lay before them. The Nixians, ever cautious, suggested a more measured approach, but their telepathic abilities yielded no answers to the Lithari's enigmatic presence. It was then that an unexpected event took place. A single Lithari ship entered the orbit of Earth, making contact directly with humanity's leaders. The vessel's form was fluid, its surface rippling with strange energy. For the first time, the Lithari offered a single message, a pulse that surged through the Federation's communication channels. The message was not in any language known to the Federation, but the human mind, through sheer will, began to understand. It wasn't a spoken word or image, it was a series of emotions and impressions: fear, curiosity, awe. The Lithari had come not to conquer but to observe. They had seen humanity's strength, resilience, and ingenuity in the wake of the Xur threat, and they were fascinated. "We are not conquerors," a voice, translated through the pulse, finally emerged from the Lithari. "We seek not to destroy, but to understand. You have proven yourself in ways we did not anticipate. Tell us your story." The message was clear. The Lithari wanted to know how humanity had survived so much, how they had fought back against impossible odds and emerged stronger. They were not interested in domination or subjugation, but in learning from the species that had been able to overcome so much. This was the moment that changed everything. It wasn't a military victory or a show of strength, but rather a moment of mutual recognition and respect. The humans had proven their worth not by their firepower or raw abilities, but by their unyielding determination to adapt, to learn, and to survive. The Lithari, beings whose technology was far beyond anything the Federation had ever seen, were now looking to humanity for answers. Over the following months, a new kind of relationship blossomed between the Lithari and the humans. Instead of relying on force, humans and Lithari shared knowledge, humans offering their innovations in energy manipulation and diplomacy, While the Lithari shared their wisdom in advanced technology and cosmic phenomena, it was a partnership based on trust, not dominance. The Federation, observing humanity's role in fostering this unprecedented alliance, began to realize something profound. The humans had become more than just a species that could survive, they had become an example of what could be achieved when different races worked together for mutual benefit. It was not about brute strength, but about resilience, creativity, and empathy. This new alliance was cemented when the humans, led by Sarah Mitchell, brokered peace between several warring factions within the Federation, using their understanding of negotiation, their cultural emphasis on cooperation, and their ability to think beyond traditional conflict resolution methods. The Federation, once fractured and fragile, was now a more unified and prosperous entity. The humans had arrived as newcomers, but through their actions, they had shown the galaxy that their true strength lay not in their technology or military might, but in their capacity to unite others, to learn from the unknown, and to rise above the fear that often divided the stars. As Sarah Mitchell stood on the bridge of her flagship, gazing out at the vastness of space, she couldn't help but feel a sense of awe. The humans had come far since their first steps into the galaxy. They had faced darkness and uncertainty, but they had emerged into the light, not as conquerors, but as ambassadors for peace and progress. The humans were no longer just another species in the galaxy, they had become a beacon for all others, a symbol that, no matter the odds, they could always find a way to rise and thrive. And as the stars stretched out before them, humanity's true journey had only just begun. Top HFY stories. The arrival of humans continued. As humanity's influence within the Galactic Federation continued to grow, new challenges began to emerge, ones that tested the very principles upon which humanity had built its reputation. While many saw the humans as an example of resilience and cooperation, there were still forces in the galaxy who feared what they represented. One such force was the Nihilim, an ancient race that had long existed in the shadows of the galaxy. Unlike the Lithari, the Nihilim were not interested in understanding or cooperation. They were beings of pure entropy, dedicated to the destruction of all things. The Nihilim had been watching humanity's rise with growing concern. The idea of a species so capable of adaptation, unity, and innovation threatened their very existence. They saw humanity as a wild card, unpredictable, uncontrollable, and dangerous. Their only desire was to preserve the old ways, the ancient order, and to ensure that no species, especially one as dynamic as humanity, could challenge the status quo. The Nihilim were not an open force, and their methods were subtle. They waged war not through fleets or armies but through the very fabric of space itself. They were capable of manipulating gravity wells, warping timelines, and sowing chaos across star systems. Their power was immense, their motivations inscrutable, and they had decided that humanity was the catalyst for the collapse they so longed to see. At first, humanity's scientists began to notice strange anomalies, entire star systems disappearing from maps, time distortions affecting key navigational points, and the sudden collapse of resource-rich planets that had once been stable. It seemed like a cosmic event, a mysterious force that was beyond the comprehension of even the Federation's most brilliant minds. But it wasn't a natural disaster, it was a deliberate, calculated attack. Sarah Mitchell, now a seasoned leader and captain, once again found herself thrust into the center of a crisis. The Federation had come together to form a new alliance of species to face the Nihilim, but the threat was unlike anything they had encountered. No technology, no matter how advanced, could stop the Nihilim's ability to warp the very laws of physics. The Federation was losing ground, and fear began to take root. Even the Lithari, with their boundless knowledge and technological superiority, were perplexed. "We cannot fight them with weapons," said Lithari Ambassador Kanna, a being of pure energy. "Their power is beyond physical confrontation." "It's not just their power we need to fear," Sarah replied, her voice steady despite the growing dread. "It's their ideology. They are not just attacking us, they are trying to make us forget who we are." The Nihilim's tactics were insidious. They used fear, uncertainty, and isolation to weaken their enemies. Entire fleets vanished, leaving only the unsettling remnants of their existence, ghost ships, empty colonies, and warped, twisting remnants of space. the Nihilim sought to fracture the very fabric of the Federation, to make the galaxy lose its sense of unity. But humanity, shaped by millennia of struggle, had learned to fight against the intangible, against the forces that sought to break their spirit. Humans did not rely solely on technology or strength, they relied on something deeper, something the Nihilim had underestimated: hope. The key to defeating the Nihilim, Sarah realized, was not in fighting them directly, but in restoring the very sense of unity and purpose that they were trying to destroy. The Federation's greatest strength was its diversity, the unique strengths of each species, working together as one. The Nihilim's attacks were designed to make the galaxy feel alone, isolated, and vulnerable, but humanity had always found a way to bring people together in times of crisis, and it was time to prove that again. With the help of the Lithari, humans devised a plan to create a resonance field, a pulse of energy that would unify the various species' communications and minds, allowing them to work in tandem and counteract the Nihilim's destructive influence. It was a risky move, but it was humanity's last hope. As the Federation's combined forces launched the resonance pulse, something remarkable happened. Instead of succumbing to fear and confusion, the species of the Federation, guided by humans, found a sense of clarity and purpose. The pulse did not simply disrupt the Nihilim's powers, it strengthened the Federation's resolve. For the first time in centuries, the Federation felt united in a way it had never experienced before. Species that had once been at odds now fought side by side, not as individuals or as separate races, but as a collective. The Nihilim, sensing this unexpected unity, lashed out in fury, but their power began to wane. The energy of the Federation, a united front of diverse species working together, was too much for them to bear. The Nihilim, for all their mastery over entropy and chaos, could not defeat the one thing they could not understand: hope. In a final, desperate effort, the Nihilim tried to collapse the core of the Federation, but it was too late. Humanity had led the galaxy to a victory that had once seemed impossible. The Nihilim's influence began to fade, and their warping of space itself unraveled. The Federation had withstood the storm. In the aftermath, Sarah Mitchell stood before the Federation Council, her expression one of quiet pride. "We didn't win because we were the strongest," she said, her voice carrying across the assembly. "We won because we didn't give up. We won because we believed in each other, because we believed in the future we could build together. This is what makes humanity strong." The Nihilim were defeated, but their attack had left a lasting mark on the galaxy. The Federation, though battered, was now stronger than ever. They had faced not only an external enemy, but their own fears and doubts, and through it all, humanity had led the charge, not with weapons or brute strength, but with unity, resilience, and the belief that they could always overcome whatever challenges the universe threw their way. The humans had come to the galaxy to learn, to survive, and to lead, and now, they had shown the stars what it meant to truly thrive. As Sarah looked out into the vast, starlit expanse, she knew one thing for certain: humanity's arrival had not just been the beginning of their story, it had been the beginning of something far greater, a new era of hope, unity, and limitless possibilities for the galaxy. And the humans were just getting started. Top HFY stories: The Arrival of Humans, continued. The galaxy, though scarred by the Nihilim conflict, now stood united in a way it had never been before. The Federation, once a fragile coalition of powerful but independent species, had been forged into something stronger, something more resilient. Humanity had proven its worth, not just as a survivor but as a leader, an unyielding force that could inspire unity in the face of even the most overwhelming darkness. But peace, as it often does, proved to be fleeting. The very strength humanity had cultivated in the aftermath of the Nihilim War became the focus of new challenges. The question now was not whether humanity could survive, but whether they could continue to protect what they had built. The Tesserae, a race of ancient and powerful beings who had existed long before the formation of the Federation, had been watching humanity's rise with a mixture of admiration and apprehension. They were a species of vast intelligence, capable of manipulating time and reality itself. The Tesserae had stayed in the shadows for millennia, observing the events of the galaxy unfold without intervention, but humanity's rapid ascent had not gone unnoticed. They had become a threat, one the Tesserae could no longer ignore. For the Tesserae, Time was fluid, malleable, and intricately connected. They saw the timeline of the galaxy not as a straight path, but as a complex web of possibilities. They had long believed that the galaxy's survival depended on maintaining the status quo, on keeping the timeline stable and unaltered. Humanity, with its remarkable ability to change, adapt, and innovate, had become the greatest disruption to that order. The Tesserae decided it was time to intervene. Their decision was not born of malice but of necessity. They had watched as humanity's influence grew, and they feared that if left unchecked, humanity's innovations and creative disruptions would inevitably lead to chaos and collapse. The galaxy's timeline, in their view, could not afford such unpredictability. And so, the Tesserae made their move. Without warning, they altered the very fabric of reality around key Federation worlds, warping time and space, destabilizing entire sectors of the galaxy. Ships lost their way through time loops, entire cities found themselves slipping in and out of existence, the Federation's most vital systems were plunged into confusion, and once again, the galaxy found itself on the brink of collapse. Humanity, however, was not the same species that had first entered the galaxy in fear and uncertainty. The lessons of the Nihilum, the trials they had endured, and the bonds they had forged had shaped them into something far more formidable. They did not cower in the face of the unknown, they confronted it. Sarah Mitchell, now an iconic figure across the galaxy, gathered a new coalition of species to confront this threat. The Zarkon, the Lithari, the Nixians, and even the Arcturians rallied to humanity's side once again. Together, they faced the most difficult challenge humanity had ever known, not a war against a singular enemy, but a battle against time itself. The Tesserae, believing themselves to be the rightful guardians of the galaxy's timeline, issued an ultimatum: the disruption you bring to this galaxy must cease, or we will reset the timeline to its original course, erasing all that you have built. The Federation, its worlds reeling from the Tesserae's manipulations, turned to humanity. It was humans who had faced the impossible and come out on top before. Now, the fate of the galaxy depended on them once more. Sarah, unwavering as ever, addressed the Federation's leaders. We can't let anyone take away what we've built, what we've fought for, but we cannot ignore the Tesserae either. They are not the enemy, but they've lost sight of the truth. We are not a threat, we are the future. The humans proposed a daring plan. If they could not defeat the Tesserae through force, they would use what made them human: creativity, adaptability, and the ability to think beyond the boundaries of established systems. Humanity had always thrived by challenging the status quo, by breaking free of constraints that others have accepted as natural. Sarah, aided by a team of brilliant human engineers, worked with the Federation's best minds to create a device that could disrupt the Tesserae's manipulation of time. It was a gamble. No one knew if it would work, or if the Tesserae would simply erase them all, but humanity had always gambled and won. The device, a massive array of interconnected quantum and temporal harmonics, was launched into the heart of the Tesserae's operations. As the Tesserae attempted to warp time and undo the device's effects, the humans pushed their creation further, constantly tweaking and adjusting to keep it alive. It was the perfect reflection of humanity's spirit, never stopping, never settling, always evolving. The battle played out in a surreal, almost dreamlike way, with time itself fracturing and reshaping around them. Ships and cities blinked in and out of existence, realities folded upon themselves, and entire star systems were caught in loops of possibility. But the humans did not give up. With the final surge of energy from their device, the Tesserae's hold over time shattered. The galaxy, once again, had been saved, not through brute strength or overwhelming firepower, but through human ingenuity, resilience, and unity. Time itself had been bent to humanity's will. In the aftermath, the Tesserae appeared before Sarah Mitchell and the Federation Council, their once immense power now reduced to an uneasy stillness. "We underestimated you," said the Tesserae leader, his voice echoing through the vast chamber. "You are more than we imagined. We will not interfere again." Sarah nodded, her gaze steady. "You were right about one thing. Humanity does change the course of things, but that change isn't destruction, it's growth. We'll always strive to create, to evolve, to make the galaxy a better place, and we'll do it together." The Tesserae, for the first time in millennia, acknowledged the truth of those words. With a flash of their energy, they withdrew, leaving behind a galaxy that had once again been saved by the indomitable will of humanity. The humans had arrived on the galactic stage, not as invaders or conquerors, but as pioneers of change. They had faced threats that no one else could have withstood and had turned the impossible into something achievable.